Welcome again. We are continuing on our path of information literacy. As you can see, today we are going to go through a more detailed example of information literacy, which I believe is information sources, right? So information sources, basically we are going to go through the definition of information sources, the purposes and the different types, as you can see. All right, let's now go on. What are information sources? So information sources are channels or materials used to obtain knowledge. As you can see, the types of information sources include the print sources, which are books, journals, whatever source of information you get from a printed source. Let me say paper, just know whatever has papers and it's printed, something like that. Books, journals. There's also digital sources. That's the I think this is the most common right now: websites, databases, internet, wherever you can get it from. Human sources, whereby people have interviews, or even you ask an expert in a certain an expert in a certain category of that information. The way we get information from our lecturers, yeah, that is the human sources, right? All right, let's go to the next thing. So the next one, we are now going for the purpose, the importance of information sources. So information sources help support research. They provide evidence. Let me say you have a certain report you are writing. The information source is going to provide evidence that this information is credible and it's actually authentic information. Let me say, and use a citation to show that yes, this information came from here and here, and it's actually useful. And let me say it is not fake information, and it's not gotten from a source that is not trusted. All right. There is also an enhanced understanding. When you use a credible information source, it helps you understand whatever you are learning into. You can dwell deeper into it, and it helps you get more information on it, which helps you understand it more. All right, let's go to the next thing. Okay, so we're now going to published information sources. Published sources are formally produced and distributed information that is actually given. The authors take time to write it or to produce it, and they are formally produced and distributed. Okay. Now, the characteristics of published information sources are they are reviewed or edited before release. They can actually have a large team that actually reviews, removes all of this. They remove all mistakes as possible, so that what is produced is something that is credible and it's very authentic. So I wouldn't say that my PowerPoint presentation here is published information sources, because first of all it's not going to be distributed, and second of all it has only been made by me, and me as one person, I cannot tell my monitor maybe I'm going to review and edit it. Most times it is a full team that is going to review this before they formally produce it. So anyways, the second one is most times credible and it's structured exactly. It's supposed to be credible information. It's supposed to be actually information that is rock solid. It's not supposed to just be from anywhere. Okay, so they should be publicly accessible. Whereby someone can go to internet and actually find what he's looking for. Let me say he wants to see the information you have posted. He should be able to find it by our public platform. Let me say on a newspaper, let me say on internet. Yeah. So examples are academic journals, of course, textbooks, government reports, newspapers, yeah, and so on and so on. Let's go to the next thing, okay? All right. So we are now going to primary versus secondary sources, okay? So a primary source is the original first-hand information, right? Now, while the secondary sources are interpretations or analysis of primary data. I'll give an example of like what I'm doing right now. Right now, I am a secondary source. I've gotten information from all over the place, and I am just analyzing it and explaining it to all of you. But the primary first-hand data is what I used, is what I first used to get most of this information. That would be it's the original first-hand information. All right. Now the purpose of primary sources are what? Are to provide a direct evidence, right? While for secondary sources they explain or critique primary sources. Exactly. That will mean that the main reason of having the primary source is to make sure that evidence is to just show you, is to just provide the exact information just as it is. Then later on, other people will come and they criticize that information to see if it's actually right, or if it's actually, you understand, that's how it is, right? So now with the examples, experiments, interviews, and raw data for primary sources. Then for secondary sources, there are textbooks, reviews, articles. The reliability now also of primary sources is high, but it may need a bit of interpretation so that you can understand better. It's exactly what I'm doing. So now for secondary sources, it depends on the author's analysis. Exactly why I'm doing this right now. It depends on how good I am at what I'm doing. Alright, let's go to the next thing. Let's go to scholar reversing popular sources, right? Now, scholarly sources are mainly, the audience is mainly for the researchers and the academics. So, for popular sources, it will be the general public. So now the review process will be peer reviewed. It will be your friends, your fellow your colleagues. Then for popular sources, it will be most of the people who will see in popular sources you won't even know them. Now the language in scholarly sources, it's technical and formal. It's mostly straight to the point. It should be technical and should be formal, direct. Now for popular sources, it should be very simple to understand. In scholarly sources, you'll be explaining to people that you know, people who you know will understand what you are saying. Here, you should be simple because different type of people from different backgrounds will be reading it and should be informal as well. Alright, now the examples here are journals, articles, and thesis, right? Now here we are going to our popular sources, which are magazines, blogs, and news sites. Alright, let's go to the next thing, okay? Now let's go to the format types of information. There are different format types, and they include print, digital, and multimedia, right? Sorry, and data formats, as you can see. So as you can see now, for the prints, we have, of course, what I explained at the beginning of the video: books, journals, newspapers, right? They should be printed, most times papers. Then we have the digital, which are the e-books, which means online books, online articles, and databases. Now for the multimedia, we have the videos, the podcasts. Podcast, something most times people listen to using. You just listen to someone talking. Like now, let me say if my video never had there was no video and only audio, that would be kind of been a podcast. And then documentaries. So the data, then we also have the data formats, which are statistics, data sets, and charts, pie charts. Now those are the data formats. Now each format serves the different research need. That's what you should know. Now elements of published sources. So the elements of published sources are what? Are the author, the title, the date, the publisher, the abstract, and the references. So the author is the one who created the work, of course. The title is the name of the work. The date is when it was published, of course. The publisher is the organization responsible for publishing this, right, into the world. Then the abstract is a summary of the content. There will always be an abstract, right, that summarizes all the content for people who don't want to read everything, just like a brief summary. Then the references are the sources cited, where they most likely got the information from. Okay, yeah. Examples are a journal article, which contains the abstract, the introduction, the methodology, the results, the discussions, and the references, as you can see. Alright, I believe that is it for today. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I'll be back with more of this content.